Hello everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today my podcast is entitled Death in Suburbia, because those of you who listen to my podcast regularly will know that my neighbour passed away. That's how we talk about death in the UK. We don't use the word dead. My neighbour has passed away. Very sad, but unfortunately, because of the way we are in Britain, we don't actually tell each other. So I watched this poor lady's family coming and emptying the house, and they didn't tell me anything. And I was waiting for someone to knock on the door and say, oh, by the way, your neighbour's passed away. But nothing. No, nobody. So today I thought, right, I'm going to take the bull by the horns. That's an expression to mean I'm going to deal with this situation in a direct way. And I'm just going to go and ask. So on my way out of my apartment block, in the stairwell, I met the boy who's emptying the house. And so I just asked him directly. I said, hey, what's the situation with your mum? And he told me that she'd passed away of COVID in the hospital. Very sad, really. I mean, the story was tragic. But he said a few strange things which are very typical of British culture. He said, yeah, she passed away. I've heard that my sisters aren't dealing well with this. And I said, what do you mean you've heard? He said, well, you know what it's like. And I said, indeed I do. Because what happens is when you're emptying the house, everybody starts fighting with each other. One person wants the jewellery, another person wants the clothes, somebody else wants the table. And it becomes very unforgiving. In fact, it becomes very bitter. So, of course, his family now are torn apart because somebody didn't get the table, somebody didn't get the necklace. And we all end up very bitter enemies. And that happened to my family too, in fact. I remember someone in my family, because they couldn't get the table when the mother died, they started with, I will never forgive her. I didn't get the table, I will never forgive her. This is talking about a sibling. I will never forgive her. No. I will never forgive her, ever. And you see how deep this is. So because this lady didn't get the table, she's very bitter. So the same thing happened with my poor neighbour's family. They're all at loggerheads now and absolutely hate each other, because that's what happens when people die. When it comes to possessions, especially if it's a house worth a lot of money, people become a little bit greedy and bitter. I'm just remembering there's an advert on television here, and I always laugh at it because it's very, very British. It has a very typically British lady, and she begins by saying, my husband and I were together for 47 years, and we had such a beautiful time. So that's why I was so upset when he died, and I discovered that he didn't leave me any insurance to bury him. I had to borrow money from my family in order to have his funeral. If I had have known he was like that, I would never have married him. And it makes me laugh because it's just typically British, focusing on the money rather than the relationship. It's very funny. Anyway, I'm telling you all of this because sadly my neighbour has passed away, and it's very sad, very sad. She was a very nice lady, usually drunk, but still very nice. And yeah, so that's the story. So yeah, we're very strange with relationships, as I think you know anyway, but hopefully this gives you an idea just how strange. That's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this. Bye.